Why that creates such a big void to fill. Plus, Brent Christensen's dad took the stand today, why he said the jury should spare his son's life. And later, catching a fish could earn you some cash, what the Department of Natural Resources is hoping you find on your line.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 9 on X49.
Busy days are coming, yes. A lot of interviews, a lot of transition.
The Champaign Police Department will be going through a lot of changes after two of its top leaders retired this week. Good evening, I'm Jessica Coons. The police chief says it's going to be a hectic next couple of months. Both Deputy Chief Troy Daniels and Sergeant Thomas Frost turned in their badges after decades of service. Now it's time to fill their spots and more. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen is in the newsroom tonight. Jennifer, have they chosen who will replace them?
Jessica, right now they're still in the hiring process. There are 6 candidates interviewing for deputy chief. Chief Anthony Cobb says they've been doing succession planning for years to prepare for these retirements, but there are more than just those 2 positions to fill. Anytime a deputy chief leaves or retires, they have to make 3 promotions to backfill the empty spots.
Everyone gets to move up, so deputy chief being right up under me, I'll have to promote one of my lieutenants into that position, and then I'll have to backfill a sergeant into that lieutenant's position and an officer into that sergeant's position. So it's always creates a ripple effect throughout the organization.
Chief Cobb says they will be selecting candidates from inside the department. Interviews will start in the next coming weeks. They're aiming to fill those positions by August. They're also looking to hire 5 new police officers to go into academy by September. In the newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Jennifer, thank you. We have some new information for you tonight. The man accused of killing his pregnant girlfriend could be sentenced to 100 years behind bars if convicted. Police say Devin Barger shot 22-year-old Samantha Cushing in the face with a shotgun. He made his first court appearance this morning in Shelbyville. Barger is charged with murder and intentional homicide of an unborn child. Samantha Cushing was 6 months pregnant when she died. Police say Barger got away after shooting her. He was then spotted by police in Effingham County and led authorities on a car chase to Taylorville, where he was eventually taken into custody. Barger and Cushing's 3-year-old daughter was in the car with him during that chase. In court, the state's attorney says the child told police she saw blood around her mom. The judge also asked that Barger be placed in a seat far from public seating for safety reasons. Barger will be transported back to the Department of Corrections. He had been on parole for charges dating back to March 2017, including firearm possession and aggravated battery. Brent Christensen's father took the stand today. The government rested its case. Now it's the defense's turn. Michael Christensen testified about his family life and said his son Brent tried to kill himself when he was 15 by running into traffic. Ying Zhang's family walked out of the courtroom during his testimony. He was asked if he had anything to say to them. He said, quote, "I'm sorry my son was the cause of their pain." He then started to cry into his hands and said his son has too much to offer to die. The judge today also denied another request from the defense for a mistrial. They say it was because a juror ran out of the courtroom crying during yesterday's testimony. New for you tonight, Urbana police need help identifying 2 people in 2 different crimes. They say this man is wanted for questioning in a recent burglary at a tavern, and police say this person is wanted for questioning in a fraud investigation. If you know either of them, you're asked to call Champaign County Crime Stoppers. And over in Charleston, police took to Facebook today to help solve a case. They posted this video taken from surveillance video. Police say this person stole from a vending machine on 18th Street. It happened around 4 a.m. on Monday. If you recognize them, you're asked to call Charleston Police. We have a follow-up for you tonight. In May, we told you about more than 200 books that were removed from the Danville Correctional Center. Those books have now been returned. Almost all of them were about race. Some were about topics like coping with a family member who's incarcerated. They were part of the Education Justice Project. Leaders with that project say educating inmates is one of the biggest steps to help them become positive members of society.
Censorship should only happen when there's a case of inciting violence with the material. Books that talk about history, even if the subject matter is something that people may not find to their taste or to their liking, should not be censored.
The Department of Corrections has not been able to give a reason why those books were removed in the first place. An engineering mix-up at the Piatt County Public Safety Building has been giving maintenance crews a headache and making conditions uncomfortable at the jail. The issue came up again at the county's last Building and Grounds Committee meeting. The wrong HVAC system was installed 15 years ago. There were supposed to be 4 20-ton air compressors. Instead, 2 40-ton compressors were installed. Because of that mix-up, maintenance crews say it's been a lot of damage control.
It would be nice if we could go back to the original design with the 4 20-ton compressors. That way we have 2 separate circuits, and so we would have that redundancy if something were to happen.
Engineers say the county can't foot the bill to replace the entire system. Today was the hottest of the year, and several places opened their doors to help people find a place to escape the heat. There are cooling centers throughout central Illinois. The Blue Mound Fire Department was one of them. The fire chief says sometimes they drive around offering popsicles or water, but for now they're letting people come in and chill. It's a total transformation for one Piatt-Macon County school. The DeLand Weldon School District is undergoing major construction both inside and outside the campus. The district just got the $4.3 million in bonds approved to make it happen. There will be a brand new parking lot, an extra door in the elementary and high schools for added security, and brand new roofing, to name a few changes. The goal is for renovations to be done by the time students come back to school. The city of Urbana is celebrating the art of poetry.
The grasses and flowers growing in this park sink their roots into their ancestral ground.
Nearly 50 people gathered today to recognize the city's first poet laureate. WCIA3's Jen Lask is here with us now. So Jen, who was chosen as the inaugural poet?
A panel of literary experts chose Will Rieger as Urbana's first poet laureate. Rieger is one of the leaders of CU Poetry Group and is involved in multiple initiatives across Urbana and Champaign. He also teaches at Illinois State University and Parkland College. As poet laureate, Rieger will launch more poetry programming for the city. One of the reasons he was chosen to be the laureate is because of his passion for teaching young people.
I see myself as something of a facilitator, someone who will work with others to bring people together and help them enjoy poetry or grow their own talents.
Will also just in general has quite a passion for poetry and came with lots of also strong recommendations from the poetry community.
Rieger received a $2,000 honorarium for his one-year term, which was funded by Urbana's Arts and Culture program. He says his first event as Poet Laureate will be a listening session on July 31st to get a sense of what people want to see this year. And here's something neat that I learned. Rieger says he likes to experiment with forms of poetry. He's created his own, which he calls Bandicoot. It's a blend of different kinds of poetry, including haikus and sonnets. Back to you.
Very interesting. All right, Jen, thanks so much. New for you tonight at 9, officials have announced the music lineup for next month's Urbana Sweet Corn Festival. Friday night's main stage acts will feature Feel Free, the Nightcaps, the Tons of Fun Band, and Reckless Whiskey. On Saturday night, people can watch Bruiser and the Virtues, the Guilty Aces, and Captain Rat and the Blind Rivets. The festival will run August 23rd and 24th in downtown Urbana. The president called him stupid and wacky, what the UK ambassador to the U.S. did in response. Plus, it could be the first hurricane of the season where this severe storm is hitting.
And a recap of today is going to show high temperatures that made it to the mid-90s. 94 officially. It was a warm one for sure. Roofing Dog, INAD Bratcher weather camera. Those storms we had, could we see any more tonight? We'll talk about a brief cool down and then how we hit a really long stretch of heat coming up. All right, weather quiz. What will be the name of the next tropical system in the Atlantic? Brittany, Brenda, Barry, or Bobby? Well, the correct answer in the forecast coming up.